Welcome to the Small Steps, Big Wins podcast. I'm dedicated to helping you take control of your life. Together, we'll explore practical tips, expert advice, and inspiring stories to help you overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Making small changes is possible and can lead to big results. Are you ready? Let's go do this. Hey folks, welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom. Sue Saller here. So thankful that you're spending the next couple of minutes with me. Hopefully my desire is to just give you a little bit of wisdom today as you're listening. So I'm going to start with 4 words: competent, incompetent, conscious, and unconscious. So I'm going to talk about those 4 words today. I'm going to put them in order for us, but those are the things I'm going to focus on. And if you think about it, conscious versus unconscious, when you have something that's conscious at the forefront of your thoughts, it's something that you understand what you're doing, you see it happening. The unconscious things that we do are things like breathing. That's generally unconscious. You don't have to tell your body when to breathe, when not to breathe. I mean, you can practice breathing and that becomes conscious, but for the most part, just breathing is unconscious. When you get behind the wheel of a car and you've been driving a long time, that's unconscious. You pretty much know how to drive. You don't have to teach yourself how to drive each time. And then there's competent and incompetent. So when you're incompetent at something, that means, you don't know how to do that thing. All right, that makes sense. You're not competent there. It's incompetent. And then when you are very competent at something, then you're probably confident in it, but you do know how to do that thing. All right. So there are 4 different stages or 4 different areas that we go through. There's unconscious incompetence. That means you don't know how to do something and you don't know how to do that thing. There's conscious incompetence. That's when you are aware of something that you can do, but you just don't know how to do it. So you can go learn, you can go, on the internet or YouTube or whatever. Then there's conscious competence. And conscious competence is when you're just really learning how to do something. It's at the forefront. Think about learning to drive a car. Like all the stages that you have to go through in the first couple months, say that you're learning to drive a car, that's conscious competence. And then the last is unconscious competence. And that's what I want to talk about today is unconscious competence. And unconscious competence is when you are basically really good at something and you just do it naturally, right? It's unconscious to you, but you're really good at it. And the reason I'm focusing on that today is because I had somebody ask me recently the question, well, what are you good at? Just figure out. And then they said to me, just go figure out what you're good at. And then maybe that'll help you hone in on some of these areas that you want to do. Me personally, I'm trying to start a coaching business and it's a little challenging because I'm very competent in many things. It's just honing in on that thing that I'm really passionate about, because I get passionate about a lot of things, right? Well, I do. And so I got a little frustrated and the person said to me, well, just figure out what you're good at, make a list out of it. And as I continued to study, I stumbled across these 4 different stages and unconscious competence popped up. And the problem is when we are experts at something, you become unconsciously competent in that thing. And when that happens, it's difficult to see what you're an expert at. This was really freeing for me when I realized this, because I struggle with coming up with those things that I'm really good at. And my guess is you are too. If somebody asks you, hey, what are those things you're good at? You really have to pause there and think about it. Now, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And I think that was a big trip up for me, because I used to get really frustrated. It's like, oh my God, what am I really good at? I can't figure out what I'm good at, and I just don't see it. And then I get frustrated because then if I can't see it, then I think, well, maybe it's just not there. Well, you know what I realized is that we are all consciously competent in many areas. It's just that we don't see it. Both you and I, we have so much to offer to anybody who's around us. We have so much to offer in this universe. And that, you can find you do have something that you're really unconsciously competent at. So let's move from, okay, now that I understand I'm unconsciously competent in something, and I want to go find that, right? So small steps, big wins. What I did was, well, first I realized it could be discouraging to say to someone, well, just come up with a list of things that you're good at. I know personally that happened to me. So what I did, or what I was thinking of, and if somebody, comes to you and says, oh, I have no idea what I'm good at, what you can do is you can just ask them a series of questions to help them see those things that you see. That's the best thing you can do for somebody. If somebody's really good at something and they don't see it, hey, be a fantastic friend. Send that text and just say to them, hey, I see you are really great at this. Thanks for doing that. And if you're looking for some questions, that you want to ask yourself, maybe you want to try and do introspection and reflect inside to see what you're really good at. Here's some questions for yourself. First is, what do people often come to you for advice about? Another one would be, what do you enjoy doing where time passes quickly and you don't even know it? That could be your zone of genius right there. That could be that thing that you're unconsciously competent at. Another question is, what is something that comes naturally to you? What do you just enjoy doing that it absolutely flows out of you effortlessly? And another thing you can do is you can bring others in your life into the conversation by sending a quick text or maybe an email or whatever you use, maybe social media, but something really quick that says something like, hey, I'm doing a self-reflection and I value your insight. What's one thing that you would say I do really well? Well, I hope you got some value out of this. I hope that you see greatness within yourself, because we are all great at something and we all have that hero inside of us. If your hero is not activated yet, please know that all of us, regardless of your age, have that hero inside that can go ahead and make your day awesome and bring it to the forefront and go conquer and slay those dragons that are in your life. I know I've been doing that as well. If you've got any value out of this, if you've got anything at all, please share it with a friend and help them become or see their unconscious competence. Go make today awesome, friends. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Small Steps, Big Wins podcast. I value your time with me and I seek to make every moment count. In order to make lasting change in your life, listening is usually not enough. So I want to ask you, what practical steps are you going to put into action today as a result of listening to this podcast? Remember, any step, any action, no matter how small, starts your journey to a big win. And if you're not sure where to get started, check out my website, personalcoachfinder.com, and find someone who can help. Remember, life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by choice. Take small steps today and make your life awesome, friends.